Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Tuesday, episode 22. If you don't count last week's double up or the week before when we had to do two shows in one day.
Let me get 23.
Yeah. I called that one 22 point or 21.1 or 2. It's not, I don't know.
24, Brandon and me?
Yeah.
Or is that Mike and me? Sorry.
So, anyway, welcome back. Check in where you're watching from. We don't have any specific topics on board for today, but something that Jim had made a post the other day actually about the fact that we are still looking for people. So if you're interested in, for one, being in the Sacramento area is important, but we've talked before about marketing people, looking for that still, and also a designer and a machinist, like a, people knows how to push the buttons.
No. We got those.
Yeah, no, actually,
robot to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That I used a photo of one of our robot loaders for today's thumbnail. But yeah, no, a machinist capable of programming using. I about said MicroStation. That's MicroStation's my old civil engineering software. So if you know that, you probably don't want to do this, but. Yes, Mastercam instead. So there you go. Anyway, thanks for checking in, everybody. 1 degree. It is warmer here. We'll say it's raining currently, but it's still much warmer.
I finally dried off from walking over here.
Yeah, I know. I still have a hoodie on, but it's not really needed. It's in that kind of in between temperature. So all you guys in your
53 degrees.
Yeah, it's 53 out.
Now we're just bragging.
Yeah, the negative numbers all over the country have definitely been. I'm like, I do miss the Midwest, but not today. So anyway, checking what you guys watching. Last week, finally had the stance RTRs were finally getting into people's hands, and now I assume that people who got them from dealers and not just direct will have been getting them as well. Started seeing more and more videos pop up. You guys that have got them and posted them up on your pages and channels, whatnot. So we've got a local comp. Well, possibly this weekend. It might be moved depending on rain. But I've been driving mine I've been driving carbon, but completely stock still for this time. I've got a video from the last comp that I need to put up with all of that. Original VFD or VFD twin for a low CG build. For a low CG build, I think that with that stuff, the original VFD is the one that has been the most useful for me personally. I don't end up either that you're going to have to put the shift servos in, you're going to have to find a place for them, make mounts if you're using something different than a standard one that you're like, if you can buy this one. But also the VFD twin you can keep nice and light, so throw the lightweight gears up, front and rear, and you're set. So it's an easy one to build with too. And so let's see what else we have. Yes, there was some fun releases in the news. That's always cool to see different areas. We also enjoy just regular RC as well beyond just the things we do. So that has been nice. We need a straight axle VRD carbon. We actually, Brandon and I did a swap using a VRD carbon, and we put straight axles under one on one of these shows not too long ago. It's basically a direct bolt on. And the straight axles are available separately at this point. So if you wanted the carbon but straight axle, it is an easy swap. Granted, you are buying an extra axle set, but there's so many easy places to put another set of axles. So having a set of F10 portals around, it's not a bad thing. So and again, you don't need any links, anything like that. You can just put it on there. You can adjust the shock stuff if you want, or just let it run as a nice, belly dragger, call it that.
You don't have to this one.
Sure. What's the deal with mullet build? So, mullet build, that term has become more common. Generally, for people who don't know, it's referring to a straight axle in the front and a portal in the rear. Brandon and I have both been running those since 2019, 2018, something like that, with our VS410 Pros. And it's really just it's an easy thing to do. You throw the straight axle in the front. Like if you wanted to do it on a VRD carbon, swap the straight axle in the front. For the rear, since you don't have the portal gears on the outside that reverse the rotation, you do need to take and flip the rear center section of the axle, the third member. It's symmetrical, so you can flip it over, but you will need to Dremel out the plastic on the inside to give clearance for the ring gear. It's a pretty easy mod to do. I've done it on a live build or two. Super easy to do. And it just allows you, the theory behind it, we always talked about was you can point the front end where you want. You can drive it around. So the extra clearance of portals is nice at times, but if you want to take the advantage of the lower center of gravity, you can do that in the front. But the rear kind of just follows along, and you can't necessarily always place it exactly. So the extra clearance of the portal there, even better. Now it does add to your overdrive a lot. And if you use the gear ratio that's in the VRD Carbon, you would end up pretty deep. But not too bad. Maybe around that 40-ish range.
Yeah. Oh, those are in production again. I guess we just kind of didn't catch them running out of stock, so they turn back on. We'll always keep making them. We'll always support our own products.
Oh, yeah. The F10 portal housings themselves, those were out. Gotcha.
I think everything was out.
Yeah. And that was partially due to Trucks of Fortune. So I used those in a lot of cases.
And we were busy not paying attention to certain things. So.
It's been a busy, since then, busy with the VRD Carbon, the stance, all of that stuff. So yeah, those will all come back. They'll get through platings and things like that. Next week, I believe that there's not a new product release, but a new release for some like parts that aren't going to go on the site in a normal way. And I think I'll let Brandon and Bam spoil that one when it's time. But
stubby kits, they should be
stubby kits are in process, but we talked about that last week for a moment. We don't have an exact day on when those will be back in hand, but it was one of those things that we just misjudged the initial demand that would exist there. So we'll readjust. So try to not let that happen so much again. And I don't have a date on when I can tell you that those will be here, but we're working on those as fast as we can. Let's see. There you go. The sense.
There'll be nothing new to say. I'm working on it.
Yeah, so, working on it. It's
I'm farther than I show because I don't show certain items because being vague about the whole subject, because until it's done, I don't want to show it.
It's exactly it. There's only so you're only going to be able to show so much for so long until it's a full real thing and it's ready to be at the time of release. So yeah. Yes, you've got word of it earlier, but that's part of the reason why sometimes you don't, because it can be a lot of not seeing or hearing anything until it's time once it's actually working.
Mike wants us to talk about something through text, but you could put there that I can actually hit show.
Yeah, exactly. That would be helpful, Mike, especially since I can't read Jim's phone from here. Oh, my mom said it's 9 in Iowa. That's better than it was when I checked last. Hello. Yeah,
that's a common question between plastic versus metal. I mean, different opinions on it.
What would it harm performance on a VRD to install aluminum axle housing? So it is a common question. It's going to be a personal preference thing for a lot of people.
A lot of give and takes. I mean, strength.
So strength is one thing. The VRD carbons are lightweight, so you don't see as many maybe strength things pop up as you could. But the other thing is that they are a little bit heavier, which the weight difference between the F10 plastic housing and the aluminum housing is not nearly as much as you would think. It's actually, they're not that much heavier.
Hurt me.
I know. It's pretty well. I think that Brandon just really added a lot of plastic is the thing. No.
Well, so, you don't really see people breaking them very often.
I think the most common thing we see on any of the axle housings is the panhard mount screw. But if you run it servo on axle, which this one is converted to CMS, if you run it servo on axle, you don't have that panhard mount screw, so you don't run into that. But a little bit of extra weight. Of course, if you like the bling factor, that's another part of it, but that's not so much on the performance. So I know West Desert Wheeler changed his over to an aluminum axle housing at one point. I think maybe EXO did as well. I can't remember, but my personal truck is running a molded housing for our comp season here. but I've got portals on some other ones as well. So, or aluminum portals on the others.
Lord. Those have been running.
Yeah, those have been coming in stock.
They're not a high production. They're usually ran on weekends when there's nothing else to run.
So that's part of the robotic stuff that is here. We have one of the machines has a large line of, they're called pallets that go into the machine. As one finishes up, it takes the next and puts it in. But it's all programmed to have priority for what jobs should go in before others. So it gets pushed down in the priority a little bit, but it still gets run once all of the priorities in front of it have run. So a lot of times that means nights or weekends, because that's when nobody's here changing machines and the machines are just chugging away through the weekend.
Someone watch your Friday show back and watch your mom.
Yeah, I might do another one here soon, just because not having anything to do on Friday nights now feels weird.
You'll probably do it when you steal one of the Ripper 2s.
Yeah. All the parts.
Was that Brandon talk to this?
Let's see. That's hard to say on this. You scroll down. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Brazen. So, if you get Dan while he's here Dan likes to leave once the shipping's picked up. So he ships from very early in the morning. I think. I don't know what that looks like.
He shows up at 5.
5?
Because he helps open up the Ray. So
that's early. So
he's probably asleep right now.
Yeah, exactly. But they do a good job. Dan and his helper, who we don't name.
Can't you just kind of do this?
What is needed to put the HG44s under a 10.3 chassis? Mostly CJ. I did not swap it. I left the stock axles on mine currently. I do plan to do that. Probably going to be your Panhard link, possibly the drag link. And it could require an upper link, but I'm not 100% sure. That's what I'll have to double check. This upper link mount on the HD44 is different than the stock AR45. So that can move that around. And then the Panhard position is different as well. So a little bit of changing with that may be needed. Some of those parts might be fine. You might be able to just adjust a rod in, but I haven't done it myself yet to know. So I'll probably get to that before too long.
Everything's possible.
So. Yeah. And we have all of the builder's links now in 2mm increments. So finding the link you need is going to be super easy if it's not one of like the 2 links that we're currently have stock on.
Actually, that's an interesting build.
So I did see that as well. Kyle got the SCX6, the Axial SCX6, stripped it all the way down. He's going to do a large scale moon buggy from that. He's shortening up the wheelbase a little bit, I think to 18 inches. And he's going to be building some of those. Those are very cool. I like the SCX6 platform. We've got another one here as well. We've drove it around and jumped over curbs and chased, but it's always something like we like to have them so we can be like, hey, if it just falls into time where that's what it's definitely a possibility because it's a cool platform.
I could stop Ripper 2 and work on it.
Yeah, you could. You can all vote. We can't do polls here, but
I know what my vote is.
With that's an interesting question. With limited colors being so popular, is Vanquish considered a re-release of discontinued wheels? So that's kind of a different.
Didn't we just talk about something like that yesterday?
Did we?
Kind of. Beadlocks.
Beadlock, that's right. We were talking about that. With discontinued wheels, like oftentimes wheels, we didn't just decide like we were sick of them at one point and stopped making them. So it's usually it's just like, hey, these were not the most popular options, so we are not going to make those anymore. Times change, flavor of the month changes.
Some of them were loss of machines or production times.
There's some of those, some of them
still
were
popular.
Yeah, but most of the ones that were the most popular just stuck around. So yeah, maybe a roost would be cool again, but it's hard to say. So, who invented the SLW hub?
Me.
Jim did. Yes.
This is before SLW.
Oh yeah. So did you guys bring this in last week?
No, I just brought it in.
Oh, good. This was the first wheel. You can swap it. This was before any of the wheels that.
It's hard to figure out where that's at.
Oh,
Yeah.
so this was before any of the wheels before the revolvers or the Dirty Harrys. This was the very one of the very first designs, or the very first design.
It's like my first design.
So it still had the adjustable weight design with the back. It was all retained by a ring rather than by a regular, by the individual screws like the later designs had. But this was the predecessor to the first revolvers, and then the DHs came after that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how.
So yeah, the first revolvers were made with this type of stuff too, but they had a little bit different weight, loading, and the adjustable hubs came with the Dirty Harrys. So that was the DH hubs. So, and then the SLW came from the DH after that.
We kind of made so many parts, it's hard to remember everything.
Yeah, I know. So, but yeah, this is a cool. I think this was red at one point.
That's from the years. I mean,
yeah,
God, that's gonna be
2007.
Yeah, that's a lot of years.
Yeah,
so just age. Patina.
Yeah, right. Patina. So that one is. I think we found this when we were cleaning shop, and we decided not to scrap this one with the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, I think I also made that one first, and then we used so many small tools. The price kind of got expensive with how long it took to make everything. I think those were Hot 80 tapped holes.
Let's see if I can. There you
go. Yeah, like 1/16 ball end mills in there, and just kind of come up with something different.
Yeah, it was a different. I mean, back then when we would buy wheels, everything we bought was and swap them now. Everything we bought by offset, and it was called, like, you'd buy an AX10 offset wheel or a Berg offset. There was no adjustability really. You just bought wheels that were machined a certain way. And that was really all we had until the DHs.
And well, I couldn't believe when I got into this industry, because I kind of took a long break from RC cars and got back into it. And then I'm reading them, they're like, yeah, you have to modify this, that, and I'm all to put wheels on.
Yeah.
Like, how is that not standard?
So, and it's weird now in some ways, because it was always 12 millimeter hexes were built in a certain way to allow them to be bolted on. And then some wheels were being made with a bore that didn't have the ability to. What?
Sold.
Some wheels were being made without the ability to put the larger center bore through the center of the wheel, and that was when people had to drill out wheels and things like that. And now
that was so baffling to me.
But now
machinist or something.
These, like say SCX10s and things like that a lot of those come with flat face hexes. So like even some of the knockoff stuff, they're just like, oh, and they take that part out. So then people buy like a knockoff and they try to bolt it on. They're like, it doesn't go on.
Yeah, but the knockoff people were copying stuff and saying we could just remove that or this and that because it'll be cheaper.
Yes. So it's just like you see like people having parts now that don't fit again. Like, we made this was a standard. Just leave it how it was.
Everyone's talking about custom stuff. I've been kicking around a new idea at home. I haven't told you guys about it yet.
Put it in an email.
The evilness is I put a computer on at home, so when I get bored at home on the weekend, I go over there and start CADing some stuff up.
Yeah.
I gotta get this Ripper 2 project done. I got some more better ideas.
Yeah. So that's fun to bring this over. It's been sitting behind my desk for a lot of years already.
Yeah, it's in such good shape still.
Yeah, it just sits there. But no, it does still look good. Those slugs probably went in once and never came out again.
They'll probably slide right back out.
Yeah. But yeah, that's smaller than 250. That might be 164 hardware around it.
Odd 80 probably.
Oh.
But even the tooling we went on the back side of the hex is like 1/16 punch mils. We're going really small stuff.
Trying to get it tight. Yeah. Do you guys have a copy of every wheel that you've ever made? Nope, we don't.
Be surprised. There's a lot of junk boxes like we have stuff.
But remember how much of it we've scrapped over the years?
Yeah.
We probably could have if we would have went through all of the boxes and things like that over time have been scrapped and disposed of. But no, there's not a good library or history of everything. We might be able to find a solid percentage, but
At the time we were building the company, we didn't think about that kind of stuff, though. We probably should have.
Yeah, it probably should have. At this point, at least we do have one of each kit, at least that we've ever released.
So far, that I think we've got the number ones. And
Yeah, pretty close. I think maybe the very first Origin, maybe not, but it was. I don't really know.
That big wheel was the only wheel we made that was that big. That was the 2.2, or not 2.2, it was like the super wheels that we were trying out.
Yeah, you made a couple of sets of those, I think.
It was only one version, but we did thicknesses.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
They weren't different styles, because there was a lot of work too in that.
Yeah, that was a great big
Do we
wheel.
have one on Brandon's desk right now?
I don't know if there is one of the.
I wonder if one can magically show up over here.
Yeah. That 40 series wheel.
That might be on Brandon's desk.
I'm surprised he lets that stuff stay on his desk.
Some of those things are cool.
They are, but he just seems he get my desk. That's the different. Everything lands on my desk. That's not true.
On it.
That's not true. People like to set it there.
Yeah, because now it's a joke. We want to see how long it'll stay there. UK needs a dealer. Yes,
they do.
We have
we've
trouble
had,
with UK.
We've had several dealers in the UK. It's not those aren't things that we decide. Those are things that people have to have a business that they want to then buy stuff. Like, so people talk about distributors, like, yeah, absolutely. It's just one in Europe needs to decide that they would like to do that.
They get mad about their import duties.
Yeah.
That's not our fault. That's your country's.
Yeah. That's the biggest hurdle there is a lot of them. They don't want to pay the imports and things like that. And there's nothing we can do about that.
Yes. You probably have a spreadsheet.
I love spreadsheets. I do have a number of spreadsheets of very interesting things.
Your spreadsheet failed yesterday, though.
It didn't fail. It didn't have a price. Yeah.
We need more questions.
Yes, more questions. The history stuff is fun. There's a lot of it. There's a lot of cool stuff that has been made over the years.
I don't know when we started talking after I made that. Like, I don't know. There's a point where me and Josh used to talk almost every single day.
Yeah.
Going home from work, and that was for a long time.
Yeah. So I think.
I found a rim.
No.
It's supposed to be on the shelf.
Brandon said it's on a shelf.
I thought it was on his desk.
No, he brought it in with the frame rails.
Well,
No.
Waste of time.
Hmm.
But you killed him in it.
Brandon lied to us.
Brandon's not often wrong, but today he was. Yeah. But
Do we need that?
we need dip cars for the that was no, because it turned into something that was fun to do for Trucks Fortune. I'm not taking that away from myself. Now it's become a thing, and we will only see them during those times. Let's see.
People always ask questions about, like, you ever think about doing customs? Yes, we always do. It's just that's also where we're trying to find more employees to help us take some of this load. Because right now, between like me, Josh, Mike, Steve, Brandon, we kind of fill a lot of roles. So we're trying to find some more people to help take over some roles so we can handle these little things.
Yeah, it's a matter of, anytime the word like custom comes up, it's like, okay, that just means that we have to do the same amount of work for way less things, and then it makes it almost that's not possible to then keep up with anything else.
Yeah,
that's the hardest thing.
When it's done.
Yeah, no sooner than before it's finished.
Once it's done, everything's rolling. We'll put everything out. I don't
Pro moto. I mean, million tiny little spokes. I don't know if you could.
We could. Got
5 axis now. You get around it.
Yeah.
So I saw another one in here. Would you guys ever do Poison Spider Customs partnership to make parts for the CJ? So we worked with Poison Spider back in the day.
I think technically that contract still be in play because it was never.
Yeah, it was never dissolved.
Yeah, contract still in play.
But Poison Spider was sold to Trans-American many years back, probably, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, things like that. Things have changed. Poison Spider also, it's like you don't see them quite as much as you used to. They still do make some cool stuff though. Yeah. But yeah, it's a what, who knows.
Right.
It's
Have you considered making a wheel for the Endura silicone inserts? No.
No.
They should make their inserts for the wheel.
yeah.
There's more wheels than inserts.
Yes, agreed. Let's see. The how when does as soon as he books his flight to move to California, I'm not sure that he has.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, we already have a desk for him. He's it's right on the other side of this wall.
Just give him this one. It goes up and down.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's a fancy desk. Even.
It can be considered called the devil's desk.
I know.
Something devil, right?
Yeah, right. Something like that. I don't know if Matt could handle not working from home all the time now. It would be hard for him.
This is home.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is home away from home.
It's turned into it for sure. What about the VRD link set? That was finished up today. It's in packaging, and probably see that tomorrow, maybe the next day. But all that stuff is done. Everything is ready to go. That was partially waiting on me, but I got that done today.
This one. Tools are ordered. It's actually handed off to one of our newest machinists. He's been here for about a year. I'm trying to hand over some new projects to him so he can help take over new stuff and maybe move a little faster on some of these things.
Yep.
But it's going to take him a little bit to get rolling. So it's in process. So that's where it is.
Right. Yeah. So that will be cool. It'll be cool to see that, and the stuff that goes along with that will be another fun thing to handle.
No.
No. I mean, while I would be on board for that, because
Would you?
yes, I would.
Just the amount of moving.
I'd do it.
We are going to move eventually, but probably more local because we still have to support. We have to make sure we're supported by materials, tooling, plating, everything else. Make sure our employees want to come.
Yeah, there would be a lot to relocating something like that, and in the end, it makes it much more difficult. But yeah, even we do plan to relocate, even though it will be within throwing distance of where we're at now. So the any support for origin parts not currently being produced. I guess it would depend on what it is or what happened there. But most things, yeah, I mean, 3-gear transmissions, D44s, axle shafts, links, shocks, all those things still pretty much in production. Anything that would be much of an issue. As far as like sliders being scratched or scuffed, that's not going to be something that we would see anything on, or bumpers. So, but the body's still available, interiors, things like that. So a lot of those things are all currently available. Anything that like
might
that.
be out of stock origin bodies. We did a list today that was on the list.
Gotcha.
Our kit's being faded out. Oops,
No,
that's not awesome.
No.
There.
it's being faded out. No, we talked about that a little bit with the Phoenix stuff. So you will see those return.
Actually,
The portal
we
kit.
got some good news on that one. Remember the speed time? Coming fast.
I mean, it'll be here in an appropriate amount of time. So. But yes, no, kits will be back. As far as that VS410 stuff.
I'd say no. We're still an aftermarket part company, and it's more about we will support our brand, but I also look at like what's fun for me to build. If it's a cool platform, I'll build parts.
And it also just keeps going along with the manpower stuff that we need. We're looking for more people. If we have more people, we can make more parts. There's no shortage of things that we would like to be making. It's just a matter of how much time any of us have to do those things. And
we're not short on ideas. That's
No,
for sure.
like-
Short on executing and making documentation, website. There's a lot to putting a product up.
Yeah.
It takes a team right now of 3 to 4 of us to get a product up. Between designing
Right.
it, making it, website, getting it available, shipping, barcodes, packaging.
it's a whole process to get through the whole thing. So it's how can I get a job at Vanquish? You can send us an email, go through the website, the contact form there, send us that, and then from there it's just gonna resume would be super helpful. Hopefully you have one of those, that type of thing. If you don't have a formal resume, you can still give some sort of synopsis, and we can go from there. But by all means, send your information. It's something that we're willing to. Again, this is an in-person position that we're looking
Before
for.
we stop making some of those parts, all those parts have been stopped. Just it's what's available is kind of what's left.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily a small amount. We do have a large amount of SCX 10.1 stuff left.
Yeah.
But not everything. And then if you don't see it, there's a chance that it's not there. Every once in a while something does sell out and we have to resend it, send more for plating. But beyond that, yeah, that's about it.
I don't understand this. How are the RTR builds? Are the boxes smart enough to assemble the transmissions?
That
doesn't make sense to me.
Don't know either. I've seen trash float around a lot. I don't. You smell burnt toast.
In my ear. Yeah. As long as I can read it.
Jim can decipher crayon, I think. Brandon also has young children, so he probably can read that as well.
Well, my own writing.
I require it to be written in fountain pen.
I'm sure you have
or
type of pen too.
PDF.
It's 3:30. Did we turn off?
3:30. Yes, we'll knock off the Facebook one. Appreciate all you guys for joining on the Facebook side. Jump over to the YouTube side. Vanquish Products YouTube channel. You find the last half of the live stream there.
This one, right?
Yep. Remove.
I am learning. Delete on Facebook.
Nope. Save.
Save changes.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Common D. You could move down from the frozen north. Not too far. Let's see. Would you ever do an anniversary origin limited build kit? I mean, the name was limited right in the name, so I don't know that we would. It was a good kit, the body and all that it looks fantastic. The D44s also look great, but the underpinnings for the newer trucks like the Fordyce, or the Pro, any of those are so much better now with the VFD versus the 3 gear that had. So I would say, grab a Fordyce and put an origin body on it, put whatever set of axles you want on it, and you'll have that same truck, but better for less money. And you can still then call it a build. The stance cab only body coming.
There's something missing?
No, he's just saying like, shit. Is he gonna make one?
Oh. There you go. Put it on the mold.
Yeah. We are not making a stance cab only right now. This is just
heavier it looks. Huh?
Yeah. Well, especially when it's this big, it's got sharp edges. I'm trying not to bang it on the table. But yeah, the mold, the first test mold that we had for the stance was cab only, but that was purely because of the limitations of my vacuum former. We have since got a much larger vacuum former.
We should turn it on one day.
I know. We've never plugged it in. We got a deal on it. We traded for it actually, and Jim and Brandon went and picked it up. So it's the stance would, I think the stance would make a cool cab only. I agree. Almost looks just like this, but that's not.
I don't know what it weighs.
I don't know. And probably not enough for me to be struggling like that. It just.
I think some of us are getting more comfortable. Yeah. I watched some of the old videos and be like looking at my eyes going everywhere instead of looking at the camera. It's kind of hard to talk to the corner.
Yeah, it is. It's
Josh is more natural. He's been doing it for I don't know how many years now.
I don't even know. Yeah,
it's awkward at first.
It is awkward for quite a while. And watching yourself, like you go back, edited videos, that takes way longer when you have to listen to yourself and edit it over and over and over.
I don't do that part, but I hate even not looking at camera just to look at messages. Like it's like, where do you put your eyes? I feel like Anchorman or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's Talladega Nights. Thank you. So pre-preg vacuum form stance. See, I would be all for that, except we don't have an autoclave and we don't have the power for me to suggest that we pick one up. Otherwise, I'd be all for it.
I say we do it.
Yeah, right. We just have to turn off all the lights for a little while. Oh,
How much power would it take?
I don't really know.
I got a buddy selling a big diesel generator. Right now.
Yeah, just put it on the roof.
I think that's what they did pretty much.
Ooh, that's a good one. As a company, which truck has been your favorite to compose from thoughts to production? I think
I think it's a hard word because even First Origin was such an exciting thing for us.
it was. I think that the Pro was still my favorite though.
Yeah.
The VFD
Transmission.
The VFD was a big deal. Brandon worked on that for quite a while. We went through a lot of revisions here, just looking at 3D printed versions, and he has probably go back on the Vanquish page and find it, but we had a lot of like the 3D printed samples and the early ones, and I think Brandon had put all of them together because he saved all that stuff to show kind of the progression of how from where it started to where it ended up.
You probably start getting frustrated with me.
Yeah, like
I don't like
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
But
God damn it.
as it kept going, it kept getting better, and the Pro was just, and I drove the Pro so much, I took that thing everywhere. So
Still a good vehicle.
it still is. I still love my Pro. The Phoenix was the next one for me. It was the first one to have the molded axles, and that was
Well, I said each one of them kind of had their own stages where it's like they were all exciting to me in different ways. And as a kid who loved RC cars and stuff, like to be building your own RC car, it's like they're all exciting.
Yeah,
And I mean, the hard part about the new ones, it's like us trying to make decisions on what to turn plastic. We're always like wanting the best of the best, but we know the price tags aren't what people want.
Yeah, and it's always you're making a lot of those compromises to try and make things a good consumer product and also something that we all enjoy. The Carbon was a great example of that. We had been enjoying the comp crawling quite a bit, and it's like, let's do something.
Saving that one for you.
I'm not 100% positive that it's a functional leaf spring yet. So if I can hide it in some way, Brandon will find a way to sneak one in one day somehow. I don't know how yet, but I'm worried.
Did Jeff Gill say that was before me?
Where is the? Yeah, I have no idea. I think I remember seeing one around here somewhere at some point, but I have no idea.
Parker had one. I think I forget his name. He hasn't been around a long time. But that was like my idea. It wasn't before me. We should make new ones.
Necklaces of Fortune. No. No.
They'd probably like this.
Jason had one.
Oh, before Josh.
Yeah.
I think you still saw it.
Oh yeah, no, I saw it at events all the time, many times. So yes, I do. But I thought there was one here too, but I don't remember. Maybe it was just the leftover bedazzling equipment that we had.
Yeah. What was that?
Like running across, like, what are these?
I'm not proud of it.
Who bedazzled them? I want to know that part.
No, you don't.
Oh, you're right.
We don't talk about that. What do you want? You want to talk about mullets?
Sure. Can you lean into the mullet build and make a flipped gear set for the axle and maybe an underdrive gear set for the VFD? The problem is it's super specific stuff and things that are still fairly easy to do without needing that. I don't know if like people who want portals, and that it's a lot of customers. The 50-50 thing, I don't know that it will ever have that like mass acceptance. Granted, sometimes it's the argument here many times. Like sometimes we just have to tell people what they want. That's what
business in the front, party in the back.
Right. But at the same time, I don't know that it's something that's like out of the huge list of ideas and projects that we have and want to do, and the ones that will be the most beneficial to the most customers, does it fall within that range
That
of
goes
areas
to
that
that
are going to get
conversation
done?
about employees. Like even something as a simple idea as taking current platforms, just sticking a portal in the front and stress in the front, or I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How much work is that?
It's just to do those things. It's not
Box
super simple. That's
photography, videos, instructions.
even before all that, the BOMs of making sure that it's all right. And yeah, there's a lot to things.
Color bodies. What painting bodies we do.
Yeah. Listen to all of us argue about what shade of tennis green we should choose.
We're pretty good about that.
It was not bad. That was our easiest one.
I
Yeah.
think Brandon like just hit it out of the park with those 2 colors. I mean,
Yeah.
He came in the shop, right? And just, here, I got these done.
I think
Those look good. I
the silver one he did.
think he had the green one done too.
No, I think the green one we chose some Pantones and we're like, let's try these. And we had 4 samples, and almost nobody agreed. But when we told them that was the one they liked, they're like, yeah.
The cardboard bitch position open. It'd be a 1-day job. It'd be finished and then done.
Yeah. Are there any significant differences between the Phoenix and Fordyce behind body and transmission? Trying to decide which to get. The transmission is a significant difference, really. Of course, if you're talking just RTR side, so you're talking straight axle to straight axle. The Fordyce also includes the bed sides, which is yes part of the body, but it's also like if you wanted to add those to the Phoenix, it's a pretty decent value. The link set is a little bit different. The wheels that come on the Fordyce are also the new Riot, which is these here, versus the original Incision, which has the rings on both sides. I like the Riot a little bit better as far as usability. It's a lot easier to mount and dismount the tire, and it comes with the clamp ring on the inside that you can easily add weight to with any of the weight options that we've discussed, like the brass clamp rings, the new powder metal clamp rings. Comes with the Falcon tires, I guess the RTR does, the Phoenix RTR does as well. But those are the main things. So the Fordyce does have the sintered ring gear and spool, where the Phoenix has the machined versions. So there's a value difference there. So pluses and minuses to both. But yeah, that pretty much covers it. I don't know if it really answers which way you would like to go, but we can get you those.
Brandon's kind of talked about again. It comes on those things. It's like takes a lot of work still to set up a product and packaging and getting all the stuff for the girls. And
yeah,
it's kind of like we have to pick our battles.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like no matter how you spec that, someone's still going to want it different.
Yeah,
and we already make all the parts, so it's like
built.
you just pick the ones that you want already. Now, whether there was just like if you wanted like a roadmap of which ones to choose, that's a different question, and a viable one that is something that would definitely be reasonable to ask. But maybe we have a new website that I've been working on a lot.
What does that mean?
And that has a bunch of bundling.
Are they open to interview?
Open to interview. We will interview for positions, yes.
No, you can't interview our employees.
Oh, no. Yeah. But no, you cannot interview our employees. No.
No matter what they say, they lie.
Yeah, exactly. They're all lies. You can't trust anyone.
We have a good middle out managing strategy.
Yeah. Starts with hostility and no.
DTA. I wonder if anyone catches that reference.
I know that there's lots of people who catch the movie and TV show references. What is your personal favorite Vanquish rig to date? You better go first.
Ripper.
Yeah, I knew that would be yours.
Why not?
Mine was always the Pro. The Pro was always the one, but now, like as far as the one I run the most, it's my Fordyce. The Fordyce is the one that the VFD transmission is my favorite. I like the Willys styling, or Willys-ish styling of the Fordyce body a lot. I had built a kind of a Willys truck on a VS410 in 2019 for Crawl Masters, and that truck just reminds me a lot of that one. I love how it drives. The F10 straight axles are killer, and there's a few little upgrades here and there, and that truck is just my go-to truck for anything that's like trail truck type thing. It's just super predictable, super planted, and Fordyce is just the one. Machining done in
the machine.
Is the machine. Yeah.
We do a majority machining in house. Yes.
Yeah. We do have a number of products that are made overseas, but everything US is all done here. So machines are in all the buildings surrounding us. And Jim on his Ripper Machinist Instagram page, he's posts more of like the shop life stuff that we have going around. So if it's new, we had some new tooling that we got towards the end of the year. We had a new 5th axis machine that we picked up in November. November 8th got delivered.
Yeah.
And
Didn't get up till
Yeah.
December 24th.
Yeah. But so yeah, we've got, the 3 5-axis, 3 big 4-axis, right? Two big 4-axis. And then verticals and some Swiss style. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in-house here. And all of our products are super clear as far as like where we make everything.
I think we're one of the few companies that do that.
Yeah, we state country of origin on everything,
HR
very specific.
Racing puts American flag on the front of their
Yeah,
logo, which none of it's made in America.
so
Not even designed in America.
we're very, very transparent on what gets done where. No hiding anything with that. So yeah, really just watching Jim's machining videos on Instagram. Really cool to see really cool to see them work. Why is flying cars embedded in that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's awesome. I was like, really cool to see flying cars. I was like, we have some sort of weird glitch.
I know there
over
was
here.
a message saying if I had watched it, but no, I have not.
Oh, you have to watch Flying Cars. It's available on Amazon. It's worth watching.
Don't you have to pay for it?
Maybe it's worth
it.
it. You can chime in on the Drew and Rachel saga. But yes, it's worth the watch. So yeah, the machining is done here. It's super fun to watch and deal
So
with.
actually, me and Brandon went to IMTS
Yeah.
2 years ago. We actually talked to people about carbon fiber, and it is not good stuff. Not
So-
good stuff to cut at all.
It in our shop we do we're very by the book as far as how everything's handled
Yeah,
with
EPA.
EPA and just our safety stuff and how all the recycling is done and all that. And to do carbon fiber properly, like to the book and letter, it is not something that we are going to be able to do here.
We would have to dedicate a building by itself just to carbon fiber. And people in clean suits going in and out of it. It's some nasty stuff.
People do it, and I'm not.
I even talked to him because he does some stuff at home, and I make sure he wears a mask because it's not good for your lungs.
Yeah, it's nasty stuff, and just regular dust collectors and things like that. Like it does it, but even with good filters and all that. But like if we were trying to do it commercially, it would be a very different story. But yeah, so California problems, not just California problems. Actually, you'd be surprised. It's pretty much an everywhere problem.
So
it's just how strict you want to be about
That's
it.
kind of why we deal with companies that are dedicated to that, because there's a lot of filtration and just
And
everything about it. Just even the disposal of chips and
it's pretty. We don't do our own anodizing in-house for similar reasons. Anodizing is can be a nasty process, and there's a lot of stuff that goes along with it to be done properly. And it's done locally to us, which is nice because it's fast. It's done multiple times a week. But yeah, it's another one of those things.
don't we just have incision wheels?
We had incision aluminum wheels in some style. I think we still have some. But yeah, some of the other ones we don't make any longer. So some of the older styles have gone now. But I think we still have the Roswells and the whole shots.
We had a majority of them. That's why until we need to remake them, because we did overstock them before we shut down machines.
Yeah, we shut down and sold a couple of the older machines that they were being made on. So we still have a number of a good stash of certain styles, but I don't think we have all of them anymore.
We would love to kick them out.
Yeah.
And turn into a small go-kart area.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And maybe a place for some car storage.
Oop. You go click stuff moves fast.
The Vanquish hard. Oh, yeah. If it's carbon fiber, especially, but
can we just spray it with a plastic liner? That makes it hard.
We're actually gonna just offer a flex seal kit for the inside. to make it nice and hard body points.
Ripper Machinist.
Yes. I had it. Oh, I think that was on the old setup.
At Ripper
Yeah,
Machinist.
at Ripper Machinist, all one word.
And we were using the Decision brand to kind of maybe, I've always used the Vanquish to try to make the best what I can. So we're kind of using the Decision brand to kind of cut corners in a way of like less cutting.
Or less like when it was officially, when we first launched it, it was actually like we were making the titanium links under Vanquish, and like we want to make some less expensive link sets for SCX-10-1s, Wraiths, Bombers, things like that. So we made the Incision line of stainless steel links. So, you know, they're made with viable materials. They just weren't as expensive as the ones that we had under titanium.
But like even the rims where we got rid of the bead lock and built it in. So it saved a lot of steps, saved a lot of hardware. So it's kind
Plating
of like
costs. Yeah.
how we make the decisions based upon which ones would be a lot easier to make.
Yeah. So it's one of those, you know, some things here and there. By no means has it always been the cleanest decisions. There's been a couple of times where Brandon and I have caught something that we should have put here versus there, and you know, part number or whatnot, maybe a little too late. I'll take the blame, or Brandon, I don't know, and I can't even remember exactly what they were, but
I still think there's a reason for it.
yeah, no, it still has a number of purposes. So
And we have maybe some future ideas to use with it too. So
yeah, it still serves a number of purposes that are helpful.
We see the S66. No.
No.
And then,
It's
the reason why I clicked it is I couldn't read the rest because we got this thing flying cars stuck.
yeah.
on
It
the
says,
text.
can we see the flying cars?
Yeah,
on our-
that's pretty much what it
on
said.
our- I don't know why either. It's very funny, actually.
It's in the other room. It's just an S66.
Yeah, our S66 here is the stock honcho. It's orange, but it's massive and seems like an unnecessary lift.
I do like it.
It is fun. There is no doubt that the large scale stuff is fun to drive.
Yes. That's one of the reasons why we won't do
Mhm.
it. I'm surprised how many people do it
Yeah,
without the proper stuff.
it's
I don't know if they just don't know.
well, there's that. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just like they take the minimum precautions they feel and go from there. But yeah,
It's one of those ticking time bombs.
it's nasty stuff. So yeah,
We don't speak of that name. There's no such person.
the 1/4 scale Ripper. Oh my, that
Need a bigger machine.
yeah, we would need
Unless we did it in sections.
at that point. I think it would just be easier to get like a robotic
The
welder.
problem is if I do something like that, it won't be for sale. It'll just be a one-off because I could do prototype parts way faster than I could do production parts. I could get a part done quick,
Right.
but trying to get parts pushed into production takes a mountain more programming time. Like the Ripper 2, like I have prototypes. I can't release them.
Yeah.
They're not ready.
Yeah, exactly. Where's my
desk?
You can have this one, Matt. This one can be yours.
It goes up and down
Yeah,
for
it's
you.
got features. We know how you like features. Or I have another one that's available in the warehouse just beside here.
Someone
It's quiet.
called it
It's got its own private bathroom.
the Devil's Flatscape. What did they
Yeah.
call it?
Any 1/5 scale Baja parts hanging around? Actually, yes. I think I still have
This one. I keep getting this question a lot. So no, I don't want to take anyone's money
Oh, yeah.
until we're ready. And the way it's going to be released is basically first come first serve in a way. There's no reservations. Probably the whole point of it. The first time it went around, it was a lot of work on Josh, and so we're trying to think of how to make it easy on us without inundation of questions because we don't want to sit there for hours and hours and typing and typing.
Yeah. It's gonna be
It's a product.
there isn't gonna be a way to get on in a list easily or anything like that. Nothing like it's just gonna be if it hits there and it's available, you can get it. If not, tough.
Yeah.
But I believe that I had found a box of the old fit scale arms that you guys had made.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the inserts.
the
and all-
electron inserts and all this stuff. I don't have them.
Yeah. So there is some still parts, but they are not complete parts, and that's why they
Well, yeah, the dilatron inserts in the brass for the tensioning.
Yep. So those will probably just eventually end up being melted down.
That machine's gone.
Yeah.
And there's no
And there's like 9 guys who would want them. So yeah, that's. Are there any Falcon bodies available? Oh, Falcon bodies. Your Falken. No, you cannot buy those bodies separately. Those are only available on the trucks. And once those trucks are gone, I think that would be the last of those.
Matt the new Lexon.
Yeah.
Can he do a body?
Matt is not.
insulting, but
Yeah.
Bodies are hard.
The bodies are very hard, and Matt is a Fusion 3D explorer.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Matt has vowed to not do any work on Lexan for a year. I think we need to send him something to review. Like, let's make a body and we'll send him the only one. Like, you can have this video. We have a Lexan machine. Yes, there you go. But that's probably about the side. You're welcome, Matt. I'm gonna mold it.
I'll put it.
Yeah. Just gonna put some clay on top of the other one, mold around it right for you. But we got 4 minutes left. Appreciate everyone for joining today. Next week, Michael and Brandon are coming up with something. I'm not 100% sure how their idea is coming together, but
They like to make projects, don't they?
yes, they do. They do indeed. As far as like availability and limited, you're not going to get any of those numbers. You're not going to get on a list early or anything like that. You'll see it when it comes up, and we don't ever share any numbers anyway. So none of that information you'll likely ever
We'll
get to
kick it
know.
off on Tuesday live.
It's a pretty good chance.
We've been doing a lot more releases on this. So
We would likely keep going that direction just because
maybe I'll post a picture ahead of time. Though.
like 3 minutes.
Blacked out. Coming soon.
Yeah. Coming soon.
I'll make a bunch of flashes.
Yeah. Just camera shake. Anyway, but that'll do it for this week. Appreciate all you guys joining. And yeah, also there'll be some there'll be some deals next week on Michael and Brandon's, or at least they'll announce them then. So there you go. That's all you get. That's my spoiler for this week for their next week's pre-spoiling. Thanks as always. See you guys next time.
I'm at the end stream.
Yes, both times.